Team news, how different could the team be this week?
Yeah, a little bit different. We clearly lose King, Uniyawa, through concussion protocols, and obviously Zane copped for a 4-game suspension. So, yeah, we've got some changes. Kyle Eastmond's in the squad, and obviously he'll be part of our 17. But apart from that, mate, not too many changes. We've 2 out, 1 in, and we'll just wait on selection for that final bench spot.
What are you expecting from Kyle? What have you said to him?
Keep it simple, for starters. I certainly think he'll help us in an area that we struggled last week. You know, we really struggled around as last tackle plays, although, you know, from a game plan perspective, it will be a very different game, and, you know, it will be a very different, I suppose, planning in that area of the game, depending on the opposition that we're playing this week. And, mate, just feel your way and find your way back in. Clearly, there's going to be a lot of eyeballs on him, expectation, but, you know, we're very, very relaxed and understanding of where he's at this moment in time, and where we're at as a team too, James. You know, we're going to have a lot of personnel in key positions missing, so I think it's up to the rest of the guys to help him around the field tomorrow in what's going to be, you know, the first rugby league game he's played for 9 years. Could
his introduction just sort of pep the rest of the squad up a little bit, do you think?
Believe it or not, I don't think we need pepping up. You know, we're on the back of 2 defeats, but I don't think you could look at our team and say it's lacking motivation, desire and hunger. Quite the opposite, really. I feel we've got it in bucket loads at the moment, and just coming off the training field a couple of minutes ago, I think that's the case. You know, we're not focusing on who's not in the team, we're focusing on who is in the team. And what we know is an influx of young players. They always give you tons of energy and commitment and desire. And I feel we've got that. You know, we understand where we're at the moment. Our normal style and how we'd like to play, aesthetically, how we're going to look may well be a little bit different, given the balance of our personnel. But I think it's important that us as coaches, we understand the strengths of our team at the moment, and we get that, you know, that right balance of what's going to be effective for us. And as I said last week when we played Saints, trouble the opposition. We'll have to do it differently this week again Wigan. You know, we'll have to adopt a slightly different style. But we do feel we've got the personnel to, you know, to do that. And we have spoken to our players about being adaptable, and we feel sometimes you can have principles of play without worrying about what number is on a particular player's shirt, if that makes sense to you.
Absolutely it does. What's the situation with Tetevano's ban then? Will you appeal, and how disappointed were you with the actual grading?
Oh, disappointed. Just really disappointed. You know, we've looked at a number of similar tackles, if you like, and I know. Look, every tackle is different, and we understand why the legislation around hitting ball players late and at times in the back and creating those sort of whiplash injuries when the pass is relaxed and all that. So we get that, which is why we pleaded guilty and some timing issues. You know, I don't want to say too much, James, because we are considering an appeal, but yeah, hugely disappointed with the grading and the findings, and I look forward to every similar tackle being dealt with the same vigour this year, although I'm not sure at the moment from the clips we've seen and the number of tackles that we've seen cautioned and grade A's, there's a severity of a grade D matched up with those. But look, what I will say is I think Paul Cullen's done a great job with match review, and rarely have we challenged Paul's findings, but Paul were off this week. So, you know, we didn't get a chance to deal with Paul. And rarely, since I've been in the job, have we challenged too much, because we feel if our players step out of line and we agree with Paul's findings, we view that as an opportunity to improve our players' discipline. And so we're guilty plea on this, but yeah, this severity of the send-off and the grading and the 4 games is, I guess, what we, you know, we're a little bit disappointed with.
A couple of final points from me. First of all, what's the prognosis on Gayley's thumb?
Yeah, broken. But okay, yeah, he's got it in a splint at this moment in time. Probably another 3 to 4 weeks recovery from here. He's got to stay clear of contact. He can train and he can pass a ball, so that's a bit frustrating for him. But clearly another whack on it could do more damage and lead to it having to have surgery, which at the moment they're comfortable that this will heal on its own without surgery. I said last week, we know we've got another week where we've not got too many returnees to our squad, which we've already named. But there's some light at the end of the tunnel for us. I think we should have a number of players back in contention, but we're not letting it ruffle us too much, James. We're just seeing it as another wonderful opportunity to get some good experience into our young players and challenge them, mate. We played Saints last week, great team. Played Wigan this week, another great team. And let's set the bar on standards and effort like we did last week.
So finally, talking of bars, Brad Dwyer was saying this week that, in his opinion, Saints and Wigan are the benchmark at the moment. Saints last week, Wigan this week. Do you feel that those two are the two benchmark teams?
Well, I think it's really early days. I certainly think over the course of the season, we will see that evolve. I think Saints have started as a benchmark team. I think there's more to come from Wigan. I'd definitely say that. They, again, a bit like ourselves, they've not sort of had consistent personnel and a couple of blokes sat on the sidelines. I think when they find their feet, they're always a crack team that'll be right up there. Hull have started really well this year defensively, but it's very early days too, James. We're 2 rounds in, and there's been a number of different factors and challenges thrown in for everybody this year. So early days, mate. And I do believe over the course of the season that when the whips are cracking at the end of the year, both those clubs will be thereabouts.